Okay.
I'm going to introducing Power Shirts who built Starbucks as a global brand. Starbucks, known to be a successful brand from the beginning, actually started as a small local coffee shop. Behind the successful story of constructing Starbucks business, there have been lots of efforts and struggles. I need to mention the Starbucks was not only about business, but more about humanity. Starbucks became to known as a global brand. Underneath of all the successful development of company, Starbucks was not only selling a cup of coffee, but more of a human interaction and emotional attachment between consumers and the workers that lots of challenges were needed. I'm going to talk about three main points, which are how Starbucks fought for Starbucks life without losing its soul, and Starbucks' greatest strengths over 40 years of history, and Howard Schultz's persistence, what made Starbucks so successful. Despite the fact that Starbucks has now become the world's largest coffee brand, the Starbucks has a dark and depressed moment that Howard Schultz has struggled to make it overcome after all. No matter where we are in countries, we can easily meet Starbucks coffee. This success in Howard Schultz's life story did not come into his life easily. Howard Schultz constantly desired the need for constant innovation and pushing forward. Most people stop at where they were thinking, but Howard Schultz emphasizes that it is essential to put it into an action. Most people can think, but most people stop at thinking, do not execute what they were thinking. According to Daniel Palmer reported that 600 Starbucks were closed in the United States, and moreover 61 were closed in Australia. What went wrong? The culture that Starbucks had introduced into Australia was not fascinating enough for the people who are in Australia, because they already had that kind of fascinating, romantic, luxurious culture in their life. Therefore, turbulence in Australia was reasonable. Howard Schultz later found that making money and enlarging the business were just shallow goal. He was not innovating, but was trying to just make money. The first action Howard Schultz had put forward was to recover the original Starbucks values that are the art, love, and the romance of coffee. Starbucks' greatest strength over 40 years of history is the attachment with people. He had been succeeded financially with having lots of franchises. However, he had lost company's value. The number one issue for the leader, he pointed out, was to be honest, authentic, and trustful. He considered the Starbucks not only as his business, but more valued as love is love. That's what he mentioned in his book, which it was Onward. He tried to perform love in his marketing. He valued the interaction with people. The quality that he pointed out the bosses should have as a leader was that boss needs to put their feet into shoes of its employees and understand it with empathy. As a result of crisis, Howard Schultz decided to close 11,000 stores for retraining. He found out Starbucks as a brand lost love, art, and romance of coffee. What I had impressed most was Howard Schultz does engage in the working environment proactively by supporting food, health insurance, or dental insurance. He understands better than anyone else what life is to be living as a worker without having money to go to the hospital. Emotional marketing is like this. It is focused on keeping intimacy with each of workers and customers. Persistence were efforts to make the dream come true, not giving up the value of Starbucks, which was the love, art, and romance of coffee, made Starbucks one of the largest coffee brands. Firstly, the fact people must know is that Howard Schultz was passionately persistent. A lot of people say, I knew it. However, to make it real, people must be proactive and place it into action to be happen in a real life. Schultz devoted to his dream, which was to make a coffee bar and make the romantic coffee shop. People should not focus only on enlarging the company to be successful in business. Howard Schultz did not only focus on making money, but also focused on building trust with people and customers. Horror Shirts wanted to convey the message that power of human spirit is to share. When we go out to the world, we must learn to share with others who have less than what we have in our life. As of my concluding statement, Starbucks was not making a successful business story when it had firstly run by Horror Shirts. With all the struggles and efforts, Starbucks now became a global brand which valued human interaction and emotional attachment between consumers and workers. Horror Shirts' personal tries and ongoing efforts to restore core values of Starbucks that are humanity led him to success in his business. This idea made him overcome the marketing crisis and to stand in a position of one of the world's largest coffee company later.